Hey guys, it's Garrett DMG. I'm back with a video. Um, in this video, I I'm kind of explaining how we become. We're not even a country anymore at this point. It seems like the country's full of workers and not citizens. Like it seems like the country's become like one big company. And if you don't make up to promise, if you don't play good boy and good slave, you get fired from society. It feels like it feels like you signed up for something that you didn't even assemble yourself. Like you're being charged a toll that you didn't even indirectly cost for yourself. But yeah, it's just constantly going. The bills are constantly going up and up and up, and no one's doing it at this point. It's completely impossible. I don't think there's anybody today that's either successful or feels free. I don't think many of us had to uproot and change our lives just what seems like to stay afloat, just to keep us all dumbed down in an illusion of false freedom, this false sense of security and safety has become the most important factor of life, to where common basic human existence enjoyments don't even feel the same anymore. We're surrounded by people who play a part, who play to pretend, just so they could get extra steps of slavery that is never ending. It seems like we got this tyrannical new world order that continues to screw us over with no pension or retirement, and gives us this false narrative of hope that if you work hard enough you will guarantee a good future. But in reality, they're taking away your rights day by day by day. We live in a false sense of reality to the point where I don't even recognize the world anymore. I never recognized this world since 2020. It's become just this terrible way of life. This slavery with extra steps. That's what it is at the end of the day. It's slavery with extra steps. It's prison with a little bit of miles added to it in the mess halls, in the courtyards. The mess halls and the courtyards have become our apartments, and the courtyards have become everyday society that continues to be ripped away from us. It's become this dulled down version of freedom to give you a sense of glass jar ideology. You're a tick in the system, you're a tick in the jar, that they encompassed around us to call it freedom and opportunity. And they want you to be as grateful as you can for it. It's just ridiculous to me. This this ruthless ideology of those in charge who continue to make life a living hell for people like me and you. This reality of false narratives and lack of resource, ultimately to garnish ultimate control of literally every factor of your life, and you don't even realize it. Meanwhile, they indoctrinate you with false information, old school used tactics that society has never thought around to begin with. And people who genuinely don't care about your future, but yet own every aspect of it. Indirectly. They don't even know who you are, but yet they control everything that you are sworn to protect and sworn to work hard for. This false sense of reality, of disappointment and ultimate hell that we walk ourselves in. We're forced to want a relationship with somebody who we can't protect or look after because society says so. But yet they refuse to want us to have a relationship with the same God that we would marry those people under. This false narrative of freedom has become the ultimate walk of shame for everybody. And I'm not trying to sound poetic here, it's just this is what I'm looking at. You know what I mean? I gotta call it how I see it. At this point, I can't keep my head in the sand any longer. I can't. So much so that we are seeing people burn down warehouses. There's literally mass shootings every day. Why do you think that is? These people aren't surprisingly disturbed all of a sudden. They're unbalanced. They become unbalanced in their lives because they lack God, they lack the Lord, and the world is slowly closing out. The world is slowly closing out. Because of this false sense of freedom, people are forced to climb the fence of barbed wire, hoping that they can see the other side. But in reality, there is no guarantee that your safety is guaranteed outside the world that they've created for you. And they made it that way. It wasn't always that way, but that's how they made it. Because at the moment that you give an American citizen or anybody of freedom ownership of their own paradigm, they become a rebel. They become a linchpin in the cog system. They become the alternative. And they can't let that happen anymore. And the more that we catch up to their schemes, the more that we catch up to their inner demons, the more that they strengthen and advance the demons that they have surrounding you. And the more they decide to create this false sense of individuality. Back then, JFK said this quote. He said, "Don't ask what you can do or what this country can do for you, but what you can do for the country." It's not the exact quote, but it's part of the meaning. And it became this son to plant relationship that created coexistence within society. But now the government's trying to develop its own state of photosynthesis to where we're no longer needed. And now we become the rotten plant in the back of the house, hoping to get some sunlight because we're next to the window that opens us up towards it. But we're not really outside. We become this mass population full of the deceived, full of the oppressed, full of the victimized. We become this false narrative of society that keeps kicking the can down the road because we're hoping to get 5 cents off of it from a bottle return that's owned by the company that made the can. They want you to just be this cog in the system that will never break, while they make one to replace you if you do. We fell so far away from truth. We fell so far away from honor, dignity, basic human gifts that we were guaranteed growing up. We were forced to grow up in a world that promised freedom and independence, but slowly takes it away from you as you think you progress. And meanwhile, you're given this false narrative of a paradigm that is totally impossible. This way of life that requires 2 jobs for 1 person and to pour from an empty cup in a society that doesn't guarantee any giving energy or refund to the hard work that you put into. They give you the key to the cage, but the moment you step out, you realize you're still locked in the jail. We're all in micro prisons, hoping to escape one day into the bigger jail cell that they got us all locked into. They want you to work and not live until you're 60 or older, so they can fund off your funeral and fund off what seems to be a retirement. They get paid to watch you die. They get paid to watch you expire. They got paid to watch you get created. If this world does not sound anything close to what Lucifer is, then it definitely sounds close to what Samyaza represented. And I think that's why we call this country after Uncle Sam. Samyaza. Uncle Sam, it's the same cloth. So much so they even look alike. And those of you that know the Bible, or have read the book of Enoch, Samyaza is a lot worse than Satan himself. But he's still underneath him. What does that sound like? It sounds like America. It sounds like the ideology behind what this world is supposed to do. Deceive you to no end, and guilt trip you to a point of self-expiration. They want a regime of slaves with extra steps. And they want absolute control over the money that they make and how they make it. And with that being said, you guys, let me know what you guys think down in the comment section down below. And as always, I'll see you guys in the next one. Stay safe.